So if we look at the fetlock joint, the rotation that we're accustomed to thinking about is the flexing and the extending of the fetlock joint. But there are other small rotations because of the cartilage and some flexibility in the joint. We can actually rotate this way a little bit. The joint can pull apart ever so slightly. I'm exaggerating it here to make the point. It can also twist this way ever so slightly on the cartilage. So there are 3 rotations. The main rotation this way, and then 2 very small rotations this way and this way. In addition to that, there are small translations. The joint can translate, no rotations, but just pull apart this way. It can translate side to side ever so slightly. I'm exaggerating. And it can translate this way. So there are 3 tiny translations, 2 tiny rotations, and 1 sort of major rotation. But all those small degrees of freedom can add up, and especially when you have 3 joints in a row, by the time we get to the foot relative to the leg, these small minor degrees of freedom can add up, and it's able to slightly laterally twist and laterally translate the P3 bone relative to the cannon.
What I do, I will stretch. You see, I want the fetlock to release itself completely. The knee is pushing, but I'm not pushing, I'm not doing that. A lot of people go and just check that line completely, which actually you're forcing it. There are minor degree of freedom in the fetlock joint, so you got to be really careful, to not push, decide that. I like to let the foot, see, I'm pushing the foot. The reason I'm doing it towards the other foot, I want to just them to naturally release that fetlock.
Get up a lot higher. You get in here using your own leg, buttress down, and then you would start to try and look through the cannon bone as an arrow. So that would be sort of like sighting as if you're shooting a gun. I can even make it medially longer for myself looking down here, or I can make it laterally longer for my eye at that moment. Also, if I can bring it down slowly this direction, tap it with a rasp maybe, or just get it to release completely, so the horse takes a little bit of time. By some horses it's a lot more difficult. So it's basically just flopped.